Good morning dear students. Today let us see in this video how to do an academic journal. So when you are writing an article, when you make a sample article of 5 pages or 10 pages which you want to publish in any journal as one article, as far as academic research is concerned, it is not that you have to develop something new or make something out of science. As far as an academic, say for example you are doing your B.Tech or B Pharmacy or Pharma D or something, you can choose a topic and you can start working on it. That is enough. You can take a existing research, or you can take an existing technology or existing machinery or an existing equipment, and you can study more on it, and you can also write your reviews on what can be done to improve on it. That is enough as a academic research for a student. So let us first see what are the various sources from where we can choose a topic. Say for example you are interested in specific to biomedical, or you are in specific interest to bioinformatics, or in AI you are interested in data sciences, how we are adapting data sciences using AI or something like that. Then what you can do is, to know the latest topics, you can go to YouTube and browse on that particular topic and find out which are very latest on YouTube on that particular technology. Or you can also go to TED.com, where you will find the latest technologies or topics that are under research, where you can choose a topic from TED and you can start working on that. Or you can also go to Google and type Scholar Google. You will be logging in into Scholar Google. After going into Scholar Google, you can start studying on which are the latest topics. Say for example you want on data sciences, and you want to know what are the latest data sciences methodologies or tools used. You can Google as data sciences plus latest tools plus 2022. So if you search that way, you will find the research articles or research topics that are there, so that you can take out from that and start working on them. Or there are many Insta pages these days where there are people who are writing on, or who are making videos, short videos on latest technologies or latest equipment, from where you can take. These are the 4 main sources from where you can know like which is the latest, which is the better to select a topic. Once you select a topic and say of your own interest, and you want to start working on it, what you should do is, say for example you have chosen a topic, first you should identify. The method of making the paper is, when you want to make a paper, you should remember it should be roughly 10 to 15 pages of data you have to make. To make that, first the method is you should start identifying a topic. Say for example I have selected a topic on manufacturing a medicine, or like a method to identify a disease quickly so that we can react quickly, or something like that. When you select a topic of that form, first you have to identify a topic. So to identify, you know the 4 sources, using YouTube or using TED or using Google Scholar or Insta pages, you can identify the method. Once the method or a tool or a topic is identified, then you can start finding out what is the existing system or existing methodology that they are using in the current market. So present, what are they using, or what is the algorithm, or what is the technique, or what is the tool that they are using. You have to identify that, and you should also identify what are the problems with it, the flaws with it, or issues with it, or what is the percentage of quality ratio that it is generating, what is the factor of say something like a percentage of sureness of the data is coming out. You can make out some study on the existing system. You have to study on the existing system, how it is working. Then you can propose a new system or advancement, or a study research on the proposed system. After making this, you have to make it on a simple flow chart. Make a simple flow chart, a draft diagram of simple flow chart, or how the existing system is working, or what is your new proposal, or where you are attaching the new algorithm or method, and make out a small architecture diagram. And then make out a sample result. It is not that you have to test it in a lab and generate. What could be the result? How better the result may be improved. Say for example, if existing system is generating 85% of perfectness, if your proposed system can make 89%, even then that is better. So this has to be made. The results, the sample results has to be made out. And if it is a CSE based, or if it is an electronics based projects, you can also take screenshots of your project. And then you have to conclude it saying what was the result, what was the betterment that you have shown, and what the future scope where you can apply. So generally most of the engineering colleges and pharma colleges these days, as far as their final year project is concerned, they want their students to even publish the article that they are doing it as a project. So even for the project you will have all these details anyway ready, so you can take out from your project details and start making out this. This is the basic information, this is the basic steps that you would be needing to make out a paper. So if you ask Mike, sir, where can I find out a paper, or like my related technology, where can I find more information on it? say there are many online journals, there are many online publication sources, but most of them which are true and like 100% correct, or most of them are paid where you can't get the data. If you want to get more papers relevant to your research, you can go to these websites where you will find more information relevant to the research. You can go to ScienceHub, or you can go to Doxity, or you can go to MyBib, where you can download the topics relevant to your research. Take out some sample papers. So if you have 1 or 2 sample papers with you, it's always better to at least download 5 sample papers which are latest. Say for example, you are now in 2023, then your paper is going to publish somewhere in 2023. It means that you should at least take papers from 2022 and 2021. At least 5 papers you should have. If you have at least 5 papers relevant to the topic, then you can know what is the existing system, what was the method, what are the latest that are in the market. So to know all this, to have the latest topics or the latest journals or published articles, you will find them in ScienceHub or Doxity or MyBib, where these are free sources from where you can download. So once you gather this information, say for example 5 articles, you should also be gathering at least 20 pages of content or 30 pages of content of all these, say existing system, proposed system, identifying all this information. You should at least make out at least 30 pages of content or 20 pages of content that is needed, because when you want to publish a 10 pages article, you should at least be having 30 pages of data that will be useful to make out a single research paper. Once this is ready, please draw own flowcharts. Do not download from internet. If you take internet ready flowcharts and if you use that in your research paper, that you may have future problems with it. Say for example, if that paper goes for a verification, and once that is there for verification, then it may show that these are internet copied. So whatever is a flowchart that you want to show, please redraw the flowcharts. Do not take internet based flowcharts, and generate the reports. Or if you have internet reports, when you get from these sites on a particular topic, you will also have reports. Use those reports, but don't directly copy paste the reports. Generate the reports again and write your own result, how much it could be. So these are the 4 things that you would be needing before you start the paper. So once the topic is ready, gather 20 pages of or 30 to 30 pages of content about it, draw your own flowcharts, gather enough reports, and then the results. Once this is all ready, then we'll start into starting a research paper. So once you start writing an article, remember it could be an engineering article or a pharmacy article or an MBA article, whatever it is. It could be a management article or an engineering relevant or a pharmacy relevant article. When you are writing an article, the major things that are needed are like a standard pro forma kind of things when you have to publish an article is, you should fix up a title for your paper. This can be done even at the last. Do not fix up the title at the beginning. Just have a title. When you are making title, mention the problem and mention the method or mention the technique that you are using. So title should include the method, the problem, and the case of technique that you are using. That gives a correct relevant information to the title. Title of an article is very important, because title of the article gives almost 50% of information on what you are going to study. So title, you can just fix up a sample title in the beginning when you start working, but after making your entire paper, then come down to make the title again. So title can be the last part that you decide upon. So after title, you have to say, for example, if you are doing a study research, I suggest you to at least have a set of 2, not just single person. At least a set of 2 to at least a 5. 2 to 5 is a good number to take up a paper and work. If it is a BTech project or a pharmacy project, generally you are a team of 4 or team of 5, which would be sufficient along with your guide. But if you are really interested to get into research, do something, study, and present this as in colleges as conferences, or go out for workshops, or give out the paper presentations and poster presentations or somewhere in other colleges, then it's always better for any student to at least take one topic in their second year of their education and make out a paper. And that paper can be presented in various formats as a poster presentation or a paper presentation or whatever the presentation that they want to give. That will be helpful for them in their academics. This will also add a great boost to them as a part of their resume. So when you are doing a paper, the major say for example like subheadings, if you take, the major parts are abstract. So in abstract is something like a brief of the story that can be written in 50 to 100 words, where in abstract you have to mention what is your topic, what are you working upon, and what is the existing system, what you want to propose. It is something like a question. It's like a question for which you are going to write what this paper is about. So you should gather some information. You should put the entire history of the paper. You should conclude the entire information of the paper on what you are working in 50 to 100 words. That is enough. while making an abstract. After making abstract, you should find out some indexing terms. Indexing terms could be the technologies or methods or algorithms or softwares or tools names that you are using in this entire paper. These are like keywords that are using. So generally you have to select at least 10 keywords. Based on article to article, they may cut down to 5 to 7, but always have at least 10 keywords. These keywords should be technologies or methods or algorithms that are used or that are being referred in this entire paper. Once these both are ready, then go to the introduction. So once you are writing introduction of your paper, always remember to write about the existing system first. Do not write directly your proposed system. Write your existing system. How is the existing system working, or existing algorithm working, or existing system is functioning. Say for example, you are writing a paper on a college management system for GPS facility for bus to identify the students' movement. Then you should write like, presently buses do not have GPS, or they do have GPS but they don't mention back to the parent when the bus is coming into the venue or something. It is only like buses are tracked but parents are not being informed. So you have to mention only the problem or the existing system. When you make existing system, please write the existing system, and if it is a research paper on some medicines or tablets or something like that, select correct comparatives. Say for example, you are writing about some disease and you want to write about the systems, or you want to write about the medicine names or dosages or severity or something like that. So when you want to write about one particular disease, or when you are writing about one particular information, always have correct comparables. What are the comparables in common to all the diseases? So what are the comparatives that you are taking, and these comparatives and the information which are in comparison. So comparison variables should be very clear when you are writing about a system. So these all should come in an introduction. Once the introduction is ready, once the basic information when you have told about the existing system, then get into the proposed system. So when you are telling your own method, or like what you want to adopt or what changes you want to get into, that can come up as a second or third chapter of your paper. So when it comes to the third header of your paper, you can mention the name of the algorithm or method or name or something, where you can write about what you want to propose. Once you write what you want to propose, you should mention the entire proposal. For example, if it is a research based proposal, or if it is something like a calculative based proposal, you should clearly mention the formulas used, or like the calculations being adopted, or method being used, or scientific names are to be clearly mentioned, on what basis you are proposing it. You cannot just propose it just like that. You have to scientifically show the proof or a statement or a theorem of confirmation on what basis you are proposing this method. And then you should also draw a simple flow chart, like how are you starting, what is the present condition, or where are you checking it, how are you getting into the case problems and doing the issues. So these are all to be done as a process of cycle when you are doing a research paper. So this all should come in the proposed system. Once the proposed system is ready for you, once the proposed system you have made ready, remember to make a simple cycles, draw simple cycle charts, how you are running it, how you are doing it, or where your result is getting done. Then you also mention it in steps. Say for example, your system needs 5 or 6 steps to be adopted. Mention it in stepwise. If there are 10 steps, please mention it in steps. It should always be mentioned. If it is a method or a technique or a technology, how are you running it step by step also should be mentioned on the paper. And also do mention the final results and discussion. Say for example, what would be the result if you adopt your system, or what if some other old system is adopted. That results and discussions also should come in the paper along with some result information. Say for example, in this paper we have done some calculation. We found out that disease number 3, disease number 4 and disease number 505 have been identified. So the tables or the screenshots or the result analysis are to be included here. If engineering people are doing their paper, say they are working on their project or something, the relevant outputs are to be kept here. 1 or 2 outputs which is coming as a final output, that should come here, which should show how is it different from the existing system and what you have proposed. Then you have to go to conclusion at the end. When you are concluding it, conclusion should be a single paragraph in 10 to 15 sentences, not more than 100 words, where you should conclude how your system is better, or what your system can do something better than compared to the other systems or the existing system. So this conclusion has to be written in a single paragraph. after concluding it, this is somewhere like you have finished the paper. Here the paper is over. Then it's always better to write future scopes. So when it comes to future scopes, you should write like where can the same method or technology be used in other sources, or how this can be improved in further also can be mentioned. It could be just a calculation. So here ends your paper. Then when it comes to references, always mention at least 10 to 15 references. References can be a book reference, can be a web reference, or can be some article reference where you have seen through. When you are writing book references, mention that book name, author name, year of release, title, and in case a particular version of the book has to be mentioned. If it is a web reference, do not just write Google, mention the complete website or particular source from where you have taken. If it is an article or a previous paper from where you have studied, please take the previous paper and mention the name of the authors of the paper or in which particular journal that paper was published. And finally, if you are interested, you can put author details, you can put author name, you can put author photograph, and you can put their detail. If not, this is not mandatory, but as far as this is done, these are the basic things. So I am giving you a quick referral now. When you are starting an article, always identify the issue, then find what is the existing system, what are the problems with the existing system, why you are going to a new proposal, and make some flowcharts, find out some architectures, calculate results, conclude it, and find the future scope. To do all this, you can find the information from Sciencify, Doxity, or MyBib. To find a new technology or choose a topic, you can find from all these sources. And once these are all ready, once you think that my paper is good and fine, then first gather 20 to 30 pages of content, flowcharts, draw your own flowcharts, make reports and results. Once this is all ready, then start writing out it in a paper. Once you start writing the paper, do not worry about writing the title first. Title decision can be taken at the last, because you may change the name of the algorithm or you may find a better method or a better technique. So do not worry about title in the beginning itself. Gather, abstract, indexing terms, and start with introduction. Then find out the results and report works, whatever are there you have to find out, and then make out basic flowcharts, make some methods, find out step by step, propose your method, make flowcharts, make nice tables, and then conclude it. So this is how you have to make a research paper. In this entire process, as your students are doing your paper for the first time, you may find it a bit difficult, but to make it simple and easy, start with step by step. First identify a topic. Once you identify a topic, then you start with gathering the papers. There starts your actual work. If you can gather 5 or 4 relevant papers of your own technology that you have chosen, there it becomes easy for you to make out. I suggest you not to just copy paste from the other journals or publications. It's better to take out 4 to 5 journals, publications, view some videos relevant to it in the technologies of YouTube, where you may find some information, gather some articles and internet based material from Google, and then start your work. Do not just copy paste the information. Do not worry about whether this technology could really work, or will this this has to be shown out as a white paper. Please understand, this is just an idea that we are proposing. So I suggest all of you to follow these steps to start your first paper. Thank you.